right, alofa and welcome to another episode of the 135 Footy Show, proudly brought to you by the WesWes Network. Go check us out on WesWesNet.com. You'll be able to find links to all our other podcasts and articles on the website there. We're on all your socials, X, previously Twitter, YouTube, and on Insta. You can join our Facebook group as well. Add your comments there. Straight over to our Uso, WesWes Sports Magazine columnist, Simon Amani. Madge, today, how are you, mate?
Good, Uso. My lord, bro. My lord, listeners, viewers. Yeah, I'm good, bro. How you been? How's the week?
Oh, good week, bro. Finally recovering from our holiday, over my holiday blues. How are you, bro? Keeping dry and
Totally,
you
yeah,
batted
bro.
down the hatches, mate?
Wind's picking up over here, man. Wind's picking up. And before I forget, man, just all those over here, man, Southeast Queensland, Brisbane, Gold Coast, up the Sunshine Coast, man. Stay safe, man. Old hurricane, cyclone Alfred's
Yeah, old Alfred.
coming around over the next few hours, bro. So, yeah, man, we're good, man. So far, so good, also.
Yeah, what time's it meant to start hitting there? What time's
Yeah, well, they reckon tomorrow in the morning, but it's kind of been brought forward, so maybe not overnight.
Not the rude awakening, 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was. You know what's funny, man? It's almost got like COVID vibes with the fucking
I have to stay inside kind of thing.
Nah, just the way people start bulk buying from the
no
market, bro. I went today, bro, this afternoon. The shelves were
just
empty,
all
man.
Oh, true.
Gone. The water, the
Did you get that toilet paper, man?
I don't know why in this day and age people think that supermarkets will be closed for weeks on end or something, bro. It's we ain't running out of shit, man. Calm down.
I think they enlarged the cyclone and got a bit scared.
Yeah.
But serious, bro. Like, looks like a big one. So stay safe, man. After watching what happened over in the States recently with their weather, who knows, man? So yeah, bro. Take it easy over there. Oos, we finally got the kickoff of the NRL season. Man, Vegas event. What a start to the season. How was that for you, bro?
Good to have some footy back well, you know, like NRL footy. Back on the TV, it was good, man. It was a bit of a I watched all 4 games like half-heartedly.
Yeah.
I found well, when I say half-heartedly, the first one I watched up to halftime and I was like, fuck that, because it was very one-sided. It was like 22 something nil to start with. I think
the Warrington game, yeah.
I think Warrington come back a little bit to make it not so bad on the scoreboard, but 40 points to 20. But that was kind of one-sided, and then and it was the Warriors game was a sick build up, man, and it was mean. Like the score shows kind of almost one-sided, but I thought it was a bit closer than what the score showed. And I'm saying that I think the Warriors, we'll get into it a bit later, but the Warriors did well for that score not to get out a lot more. And then there was a bit of a lull, man, with that Genghis game, and I'm all for we mentioned it last week, it was a good opportunity to have the eyes on the girls, but I think they fucked up in terms of having the wrong team there, and at this time of the year as well, man, the girls aren't really in the start of their season.
Mm-hmm.
So the poor English girls, man, they're on hiding to nothing.
Well, yeah, I heard that they're not even, they're semi-professional there still. So a lot of those girls, they've still got to go do 9 to 5s and just trying to make an effort. Yeah,
so. The women's game of here is just growing. These girls just getting bigger, stronger, faster, and they're not quite fully professional. They are, but it's not. But still, it's worlds apart. I thought maybe they dropped the ball there. Maybe they could have had the Kiwis girls. Yeah, it would have been a lot more
just entertaining. Probably a lot closer too.
Yeah, a lot more competitive. But and then to finish off, bro, that was such a mean game of good sign of
semi-final kind of atmosphere. Just raising it up, man.
Both teams, bro, and it's scary what we're in for with this Panthers team, man. What levels they can go to, bro. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. I had a mate. I was talking to a mate today.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff, and my good friend Gladys. They couple I know from over here. on the GC, originally from back home, but they went to Vegas,
Gee.
and yeah, they loved it. They enjoyed it, man. They started in LA and ended up in Vegas to watch the game.
Or
But
they had they planned to go there anyway, or they went for the?
no, they went specifically for
Gee.
yeah, the same plans we had, but we'll get there
Yes,
next.
that's right. Next
Get
year.
there next year.
Still waiting on your sponsors to come through.
But yeah, the bro was just saying, the atmosphere was probably the atmosphere of the game probably wasn't quite this lived up to, it was just a regular, he mentioned it was just almost like a regular game, but
Yeah.
in comparison what he came from like a week previously or a few days previously, he was at an NBA game.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the Lakers, bro, the way just American sports in general, how they make that such a big ass event, was just not on the same level way of
Well,
the
the
NRL.
NBA was bigger.
Oh,
Like you just
bigger,
said, with
better,
more
more
hype.
entertaining. Just the way they deliver
More
the
numbers? Like,
the
was it a
match.
bigger stadium? Like, it's because it's not a big, because
Oh
it's
no,
inside,
not
isn't it?
bigger in terms of the people, but like a
Just the
bigger
way they
event,
hyped it.
like
Yeah.
just the whole hype,
Yeah.
behind it, constant music, DJ playing. Not to say that he didn't enjoy it, but I think he was saying just the vibe in comparison.
Yeah.
The silence during watching an NRL game, he noticed that. But
Yeah,
that's
because the music,
everywhere.
everything goes off at the grounds, eh? Like,
Yeah,
and there's no commentary, so you just got the randoms in the in the ground to kind of build it up. So yeah.
yeah. But he did mention it that the hype preview, the build up of the Vegas was awesome. But
Yeah.
in comparison to being there at the stadium, from his point of view, probably didn't match the pre-hype.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that he's Galo Fai's Warrior supporter, so maybe that's part of the vibe, part of the buzz.
True, that could have changed the vibe. Like, you think if that was your second game and the Warriors are up, you just keep going up and
he mentioned it was a long ass day. He couldn't
yeah.
him and Gladys couldn't stay there for the full duration of the last game, which is a pity because that was probably the best game of all 4 games.
Well, and I
But
feel
that's
sorry. That's the
long.
thing, because that's a long day. 4 games back to back.
Harder out, bro.
Yeah.
4 games back to back. So, there's room. Even if we're planning to go next year, damn sure we ain't staying for all 4 games.
Well, yeah, and I heard that it's So they were saying on, I think it was on Triple M, they were saying that it was one-way policy as well. So once you leave to go for a cigarette, you're done.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go there for something, you want to go for a cigarette, you're stuck. So you have to either just stay in there. So you think even like with kids, you want to go have a feed, and so everything just has to be done there. So yeah, it's quite a long day, and to be stuck there knowing that it's one way.
So there's he said that the first game, English supporters were hyped, bro.
Yeah.
And so that just and the fact that the Warriors was there, that added to it too, because fuck, as you know, man, the support base. There was a few Kiwis that went over there, man. So and Warriors are one of the probably the most supported teams in terms of membership out of the whole comp. So definitely deserve a place at the table there. But I don't know, maybe 4 games is maybe 1 or 2 too much, too many. That's one for the big wigs to figure out. Going forward.
Yeah.
Definitely not fucking have Jillaroos versus the English girls. They're not even the same planet.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, you think maybe 4 really entertaining games, possibly, but I mean, 4 games is just a lot. Like, even watching, like sitting in front of a telly is hard work for 4 games, and you're just sitting there. Imagine
if you want to showcase the game, it didn't. 90 points to whatever it was, almost 100. It could have easily been 100 because there's a lot of missed kicks. That's not the way to showcase the women's game. And if you ask me, I think maybe 3 games or 1 Super League game and a couple of NRL games, bro. That would
even if you go 1 NRL and 1 NRLW. So I don't know why it has to be both men's games. Like, then you kind of bring the women's game up too.
It has to be competitive.
Yeah.
Because there was also ideas thrown around, stealing ideas from other podcasts, but perhaps international, some more Tonga, especially with Islander based over there on the West Coast. But then
Yeah.
how do you put that? You don't want to put that at the start of the year. I think the best thing about Vegas round is the hype promoting the competition, because everyone's talking about fucking Vegas to start off the comp, and especially over here in New Zealand. I mean, Australia.
Yeah.
Man, no one heard shit about AFL or any other sport. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's what. Oh,
last week's
wow.
build-up was all about NRL, man,
Yeah,
because
so
it was in
everything you
Vegas.
heard was just all about this.
So you
Wow.
want to keep that in there at the start of the year, but yeah, I like those ideas of having Samoa Tonga there, but perhaps not for Vegas round at that start of the year, bro. But yeah,
But yeah, I guess you made some good points, even with the, just the approach to the game itself. Like out on the stands, like, yeah, why do we go quiet? Like, we don't have running commentary. It's different, like at a bar, because you turn it down, turn the music down so you can hear the commentary. But at the game, yeah, he's right. Like, well, I have no idea why it goes quiet. He's just left with the crowd and have to make up your own commentary.
yeah, it's a hard one, because I don't know, we're coming into a new age, man, where there's probably not as many when I say purists, but people who just want to go there and watch the game and not give a fuck about anything else. Do you know what I mean? But I think, as a dad of two young kids, I think I look at stuff worth the value.
Yeah.
Where I want to put my money, bro. And it's a bit selfish of me to put my money just to go watch a game, and I'll just go watch a game because I call myself a purist, bro. I love footy.
Yeah.
But if I take my kids and my family, who probably not the same interest as me, you got to make it an event, bro. You got to make it.
Yeah. Make it
what
worth
else can
it
you
for
get
them.
outside of the game? Yeah, you have music there, bro. You have some halftime entertainment, not just stupid ass promotions doing running race at halftime, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so yeah, Cam's before the show, like he was mentioning, like the stuff Auckland FC does, to get families and kids down there. They bring a Ferris wheel, they import sand, make a fake beach there for the kids to play at, and then they have a bar set up, for people to come and enjoy a beer like an hour before the game starts. All this kind of stuff, just just bringing other stuff. So, like you're saying, like for the cost of price of admission, you don't care because you get to watch the game. Whereas for the rest of the family, at least they love that event.
Cost of a beer and chips at the game. But like, I don't know if it's a huge deal over here, because you look at the numbers. They say crowds are building up. Crowds are getting better and better here. Well, where I come from, bro, Suncorp, mate. Suncorp just sells out. You look back home, Warriors are way more people going to Warriors games than to Blues game. If anything, this is something for NZRFU Super Rugby franchises to think about, bro. I know this is something for
someone needs to
on
be
the counter,
thinking
right?
about it for those guys, because I don't know what's happening in that space.
Part of the buzz about not having the same energy watching a game on TV between a league game and a Super Rugby game, an NRL game and a Super Rugby game, for me, is the crowd, bro. Is seeing crowds in the background instead of empty ass seats when you look at Eden Park.
People stacked out to come and support
full.
their team.
Well, not even half full, not even that, bro. A quarter full. That's what makes internationals, eyes on TV when the internationals come, because that's packed out house and you can feel their energy through the screen. But it's one thing more so for rugby union, because in our neck of the woods, our professional competition is struggling, bro. As you know, what do you think about this idea with the jerseys? Well, I think we've mentioned it a couple of years in a row here. Having more. It's a good way of fan engagement when you get give players a piece of the jerseys by selling their own jerseys, having their own number, picking their own number, having their name at the back of it. For me personally, and this is coming from someone who loves rugby league and rugby union, loves both games, understand the positioning and the numbers behind it, but I'm all for that, bro. I think numbers is a cool thing, bro. I think the way we collect. I'm not a specifically NBA club fan. I'm a specifically NBA player fan, so I will go buy a jersey
Yeah.
of specific
Follow a
players.
certain
Bro.
player. Yeah.
And like again, it's talking about the crowd thing. It's probably one thing that Super Rugby bosses should come up with if they want to compete with the NRL, fan engagement, start bringing in people to their games. Is just having these kind of ideas. I don't know why players unions here.
Well, it's nothing new. Yeah, it's nothing new. Like that's the thing. Yeah, like stuff that the states have been doing for years. So yeah, I guess it's stuff that they need to start thinking about. I think they've just taken it. Like you look how long they've had. You know, New Zealand have had rugby as its marquee sport for years. And so I guess it's just these guys at the top have just been sleeping on their laurels, and this thing's just happened. It's not like it happened overnight. So it's taken years of mismanagement of these guys at the old boys club, literally. Just sitting on this because well, we're the only game. Why do we have to be worried? And now all of a sudden, basketball. All the kids going to play basketball. You see kids come up playing rugby up until 12. And then they have to go play through the school, and then the school goes, "Oh, you'd probably be good at ball." And all of a sudden, they're a ball player. Like, "Oh, you're not playing union." "Oh, no, I'm a ball player." So yeah,
You
it's
look at
just
Auckland FC. I think, and I don't want to talk about too much. It's probably a good topic for the Usos on Kararak to bring up, but New Zealand rugby, man, cannot rest on alone on just being the culturally number one sport back home.
No.
That's not going to cut it in a few years. Look what Auckland FC is doing. Soccer in the junior numbers, kill it, man. The same thing here in Australia. They kill it. But as we notice, it's not the same kids participating in the teens and going into the seniors. But with Auckland, with New Zealand having two professional teams in the Australian, it won't be long, man. And other codes are catching up, bro. Catching up to rugby union back home.
Yeah. So I think one for the boys. I think they didn't run it last night, but looking forward to the counter ruck boys. I think that's a good one to chuck over to them. Nice, bro. That was a impromptu little touch on Vegas, but looks like the concept's going. I think they got a few more years to run on it. So they'll see how they kind of change that up. All right, before we get into some other topics, also we'll go back to our usual awards that we give out every week here on the the 135 Footy Show. First up, in memory of our Uso Eyes, the originator of this podcast, the All Eyes on Me award. Who stood out to you over the weekend last week, bro?
Yes. Good to be crowning our awards, bro. Especially Isaiah's All Eyes on Me award, bro. And mine goes to the Panthers Sharks game, bro. And just the performance of Isaiah in that game, bro. Him along with Cleary, man, that won it for them. What a game that was too, bro. We'll go into more depth, but his performance alone, man, was just crazy, man. This guy, and we keep saying, they're losing all these players, but him, he is the one denominator where I say, you take him out, and then the kingdom will crumble.
Well, maybe, because you're right. That's a good call on your All Eyes, bro, because he was a beast.
On defense and offense, and it was cool because we know what he can do with his ball playing, but it was good to see. Not good to see, but it was interesting to see how him, especially that first quarter, first half, just played like an extra front row, bro.
And just going straight, just go hard.
Tall, and we forget how big he is. He's so tall, man. And
you're just so used to him doing that, like you're saying, like an extra, like he'll just float out and just float out and feed. So to see him just straighten, like all of this guy just straightening up and take it like nothing, you realize, like, actually he's solid too. He's big.
You ever see him? He's such a smart runner, like with his angles and the speed he hits the line at, that you never really see anyone put any shot on him. He always finds his front, bro. And he knows when to run, when it's required to run, when to pass. And when he does pass, it's like he dips so far into the line that he gives his outside, which is usually Cleary, he gives him so much time and space. He did all of that and more, man. But it was just a class act, and he threw in there a fucking try-saving tackle. I forgot who was on, but it was such a big battle up front, bro. Especially with that Cronulla packet.
Yeah.
And the loss of Fisher Harris, bro. I just thought it was mean seeing him. He's got so many strings to his bow, man. He's there's him and Daylight in terms of the best 13s going around, bro.
Yeah, at the moment, you're right. Yeah, nice call out, bro. That's a nice pick for your all eyes. I actually went with one of the guys who kind of carved us on the weekend, Xavier Savage, and a good year last year, but a real coming of age. I think it was probably his third season, top grade. He was hyped big time, when he first came in. Just a bit mimicky. I used to get annoyed at him, just the way he grabbed at the ball and stuff like that. He had the speed, but it was almost like he was doing too much. Whereas,
Like he looks
man,
a bit bulked too, eh?
yeah, he looks like he's put on some beef, but
But not
also
lost the speed as well.
the speed's still there, man. So some of the movement I saw, looks like he's ready for a good season, and just mongrel too. Like he was just so. He reminded. I'm pretty sure Rappa and I must have had a talk to this guy because that's what he reminded me of. I said it last week. Like that's what I was looking like. Oh wow, that's kind of that guy who always nickels us, and
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't playing. But I think he just passed it on to this guy because this guy was just like, he's on the.
Well, he was the Ricky Stewart put him starting fullback a couple of years ago, bro. And he had a few games where he botsed it a few times. And then Ricky Stewart put him down into reserve grade, bro.
Yeah, pushed him down.
So, man, Sticky is such a good man manager.
Yeah,
he's done really well with this
knows
kid.
what needs like those that can take that well, or the ones that just leave them up and just get them to do better.
Still play fullback, but I think you got Weeks there as well, who's probably a bit more better ball player at fullback. So him on the wing, he can just roam around and do a Roger. Tuivasa is probably the best performance in the Warriors. Just be that guy that can just roam around and pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
Savage was doing a
he
lot
seemed
of
like he had a bit of freedom, like that try where he changed position, came back into the middle, and then
man.
that
was a good call, man. A couple of tries as well.
So hard one, but yes, all lies to Xavier Savage. Well played, son. All right, going over to your Kaya Kele Award of the week, bro. Who you got there, mate? Who were you most unimpressed with?
I have a few, bro. Let's do a couple of mentions. The English rugby team, the girls. I'm sorry, girls, but to lose by that much, definitely Kaya Kele.
They're cool.
I thought Nickel Clockstar, he was worth of a mention here. Had a bad game, bro. A bad error resulting into a try, but he was just. I love this kid too, man. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't at his best. But Kaya Kele is the winner for me this round. Would have to go because this person was responsible for making this call last week. Tana Bellini was story. The story of the year was Andrew Webster. This is gonna be the coach. The performance of the coach is gonna be the big difference. And I just think Sticky just fucking just schooled him, bro. I thought Warriors, like I said, we'll mention it a bit more, but Warriors probably did enough to be in the game, but Webster with maybe, and this is personal opinion, selections probably didn't help the cause, and two, during the field, bro, with his substitutions was bots, bro. Like I said, there was moments in that game where I thought like, the Warriors pack was just holding on, bro, and maybe the timing of his subs was off. He kind of added the performance of the coach, added to the loss a great deal to the loss of the Warriors, and because there's good two teams, and I'm not take away from the performance of the Raiders, but I just found it funny. First game of the year, he goes fucking ass banked from Sticky. And that was your story, bro. You want to still stick to that story, or
Early in the season, man. It's round
you'll
one,
learn from
round
this
one.
performance? What do you got, bro?
All right. I had one earlier. And I've actually added a second as well. So my first one actually from when I tuned in to watch the Warriors game, my first kaya kele goes to Sky Sports. So I don't know when this came about, but when I went to watch the game, now they're just throwing ads. So people were talking about it like, oh yeah, after they score a try. Nah, these ads just come whenever now. So I don't know if we're turning like Fox and that. Yeah, so they'll have an ad, but the game doesn't pause. So it's not like we have delayed coverage. After the pause, we get back to the game. Nah, the pause, the game carries on, and so we come back, and I missed one of the I think the first Raiders try. So I don't know if there's a new thing, but Sky's already always had the league for free, but now you get the
Oh,
league
yeah.
for free but
It's a new thing.
uninterrupted. Yeah.
Ads during
So
the
now
game.
they just have the ads during the game. So yeah, that was my first kaya kele because you have to buy the Sky Sport Now app. So that's just annoying
Oh, to watch the game.
to watch it uninterrupted. So you can still watch it on Sky Sport, but it's just gonna throw in ads and stuff. But if you want to watch it live without any breaks, you
Is
gotta
it an
buy another
extra
thing.
subscription?
That's a totally different thing.
But you got to pay extra for it.
Yeah, it's like a whole new subscription. Yeah, it's like $50 a month. So to go
Um,
without ads is like buying a whole nother Sky, pretty much. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know if that's where all Sky Sports are moving, but yeah, that was just a bit of a shock and a bit of a kaya kele to these cans. So yeah, those guys can go uppercut themselves. But my other kaya kele actually goes to Richard Agar. So, Richard Agar, assistant coach of the Warriors, manhandling.
angry
So
guy.
yeah, he choked the official the journalist.
What's
So
the
I don't
story
know if
behind that? Was sure.
man.
Did he know him or what?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So when I'm reading about it, so it goes back to old shit. So this guy's not even. So the journalist is in the box. It's halftime. They're walking back up the tunnel, and he sees the journalist. So like the hands on his throat. So the journalist is going. Didn't want to get named, but they've named him. But yeah, this guy goes and yeah. So I don't know what they've got some beef, some old history. So Richard Agar was coaching over in the Super League. Won the Cup Challenge back in I think in '01. So he's got a bit of history, but yeah, I don't know what this guy wrote about him, but obviously he's
After the
still
game,
not
me.
happy
After
about.
the game. I,
Well, this
I
guy
don't
must have
condone
done those
violence.
write-ups about family or something, eh?
I don't condone violence, but obviously this journo would have said some smart ass shit to
Exactly.
do that. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
you
Diggo.
got to be more than the game,
Diggo,
because
what
yeah,
happened, Diggo? You guys
but that's
lost.
the thing. You think if
You
it's
guys
about the
lost.
game, it's like I'm gonna write that
Yesterday,
same
England.
article. This is what you do to all the teams, mate. I'm gonna write that same article about you.
Hey,
Nah, I reckon
yeah,
it's further than that, man. This guy's got some deep shit on him that he pulled
they
out.
would
It's
have
like,
been talking
bro,
shit. They would have been talking shit for a while, and
yeah,
just in that moment, because
yeah.
he would have been one of those, hey, you cunt, calm down. Just, and then you were, nah, fuck yeah, he's this cunt, just like in, now my accent's changing. Yeah, you're catching just like an English.
With the
Look, cunt,
Indians, was he an Indian?
look, cunt, calm down, cunt, this is not the,
I don't say it
nah,
was
fuck
an
yeah,
Indian
digga.
journalist, mate. I
And
don't know what
then,
accent that is.
what you say, you cunt? And then grab the throat. Like, surely
I don't
there's a big build up. And
know.
in that time, where's everyone around him, bro? Or where's Webster? Where's Webster?
Oh, maybe yeah, exactly. Winston's probably like, yeah, fuck yeah, I've got to go talk to these cunts.
That's some old school shit. That's fun. Like I said, we don't condone violence on this podcast, but some
Exactly.
funny shit, man. Especially, is he gonna lose his job? Do you think that's warrant lose your job, or
I don't know. Depends. Well,
it's a criminal act?
hey,
You gonna press charges?
well, exactly. It comes down to the journalist pressing charges. Cops ain't gonna do shit. You got a problem with them? Oh, there's no disturbance of the public. Public, we're fine with it. Like, yeah, get into my.
Nah, bro. That looks if you're a Warrior supporter, but that looks from public perspective is like, oh, what a can't handle can. You guys lost the game and now you want to fussy your Juno.
Yeah,
Come on,
so
mate.
I think the Warriors come out with a statement. It's going to the integrity unit as well. So
Must be culture
we'll
at
see.
the Galapa way. Because this is
These are
This
these
is the
English
same behavior.
meals, bro. See, this
This is the
guys.
same behavior that I was observing at Mount Smart in the early 2000s when the Bronx used to
It's
fussy
all
the
those
Warriors all
English
the time.
fans, man, getting under his skin. He finally had enough. All right, moving right along. So we missed the jump. One of the reports that came out when we were recording last week. Dylan Brown has been getting a lot of huge offers given to him, one of the biggest in the NRL at the moment. The Knights are poaching him. Your thoughts on the move for Dylan Brown? I think this is all for next year, though,
Attempting,
2026
let's
season.
say attempting to poach him.
Well, yeah, they've given him the offer. If no one else comes forward, I mean, it's a huge amount. It looks like it's a 10-year deal, and it's about 1.2 a season.
Well, how old is he, man? He must be like mid-20s.
Yeah, he's probably 26 now.
Damn.
Oh, so Dylan Brown. So
I
yeah,
think from Dylan Brown's point of view, bro, that's career, that's life-defining money, man.
Mm.
Hey, that's easily 10 mil or whatever, over 11, 12 mil in the bank.
And it's not a bunch of chumps. I mean, it's this is a team that's been in the 8 for the last few years, so you're
Teaming
not
up
going
with
wrong to
Ponga.
move there. Yeah.
Ooh. That's hard to turn down if that's the truth. Yeah, it's a hard one to say because I mean, he'll be close to a mil already, wouldn't he?
You'd hope so. I mean,
I don't know. I
surely
think
he's a
that's.
marquee player.
I
24
don't
years
think.
old, so yeah, he's got a lot of footy left in him.
I don't
And a
think you can't
10-year
beat.
deal, that's
You
awesome.
won't get any better deal, Lales. Really?
Yeah, that set him up for the rest of his career. 24 now.
Yeah.
He can finish out at 34, go play a
If you're
couple of
chasing
years
the
of
money,
Super
man,
League.
that's a no-brainer for Dylan Brown, and especially teaming up with Kalyn Ponga, man, that would be deadly.
Yeah.
Another one, another club before this come out. I was thinking about the way the Roosters, the way their roster's looking this year. Everyone's saying they've gotten rid of a lot. They've got a lot of
Yeah,
wiggle
true,
room
they
now.
got money. Yeah,
You know, they got money to throw a big superstar, man. And being traditionally, you know, one of the fucking big clubs of the whole comp, they're after a superstar. So you know that for me, I thought him and wait for you, Sam. Help me out here, the halfback
Where Sam Smith
at the Roosters.
at the Roosters. Yeah, where
They
is
would.
he? Is he injured at the moment?
Yeah, he's injured, man. Forgive me, his surname's just escaping me at the moment. But he's young. That pairing could be awesome as well, man. And then the only other option is Parramatta, man, where he's been this whole time, his whole career.
Yeah, because Moses has just done a new long-term deal there as well. Eh?
So, you know, as long as Moses is there, I think they still have a little window to do something. You know, a few moves. They got a new coach, but you know, they're still a few moves out from being a top 4 contender. But money wise, bro, you'd think the Knights, go for that 10 years, man. Shit.
Yeah, I think it's a really good move from. Yeah, hard to turn down. But apparently, if anyone does make a play for him, the Knights said they're going to pull it. So, yeah, who knows? Apparently, they got salary cap. I don't know. They got salary cap. They just re-signed a few players. Ponga's still there, but they're adamant that they've got the money to back it up. Hey, let's quickly just jump in. First episode last week, so thanks to there's just a lot of positive comments. Just some of the boys back in the wires. So sorry about those predictions, boys. But yes, we are keeping the faith.
Yes.
But we had a comment from Montresor. We were making comments about the Rabbitohs. He just wants to know how confident are you if Jai Gray is going to be kicking this season for the Rabbitohs? I don't know if
he'll be kicking now, especially with Latrell out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is he their only option?
Just thinking about in their lineup. Nah, he took over the kicking the last part of their season with Latrell out. So I think especially if Latrell's got hammy issues, you'd come back. Maybe I don't think he'd be.
I think they said 8 weeks.
Take those duties on.
Yeah, that'll just take.
But if he's banging them over from everywhere, pretty confident he'll keep those duties, bro.
Yeah, fair call. Nice. There you go, Montresor. You can Agile grade to your team for this week, and hopefully your super coach will get you some points in there. Speaking of the Knights and Kalyn Ponga, Stephen Donald on podcast recently leaked out. I don't know where he's getting his info from, man, but
Jesus.
he's leaking that Ponga is likely to move to Super Rugby and to the Hurricanes of all places. Your thoughts on this? This is just a bit of Stephen Donald trying to
But
get
that's the only
another.
source that we've heard of Eagles. I don't think that's anything official coming out. Maybe his dad is his agent, trying to up his price. He's already on good money. He ain't going to do it for money, that's for sure.
Not in the rugby.
But in saying that, I don't know, man. It's such a weird story because he ain't going to be guaranteed a spot. Like, New Zealand, man, just churn out so much talent, bro. Not to say he can't do it. I think he'll probably slip into that fullback role at the Hurricanes and be one of their best players. But different level when you go to the ABs. He does murmurs in the interview. He did that. He'd love to. Represent the ABs. Don't quote me. Excuse me, but that's the pulling power of the ABs jersey. A lot of these kids who are over here, born and raised back home and come over here, apply their trade in different NRL teams. But I'll be surprised if that's true. He's at the top of his game here. He's peak. He's got unfinished business in terms of an NRL premiership. Bro.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just come from left field, so it's just strange. Yeah. Maybe it's Eats, but these things don't come out of nowhere. Speaking of things that don't come out of nowhere, whispers over the last few weeks, and it's kind of gone cold. Spencer Leniu talks that he's not happy at the Roosters and looking around.
Really?
Yeah. So these are these little rumors that come out, but they don't come from nowhere. And surprisingly, Spencer's not named. So I don't know if he picked up a suspension last week, but he is.
Yeah, he was. He's suspended. Remember the preseason?
So it's still carrying on from that one.
Yeah, I'll be surprised.
From the preseason challenge.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, bro. Yeah. I don't know, because he's a Panthers. He's from the area, man. FTA. So I don't know, maybe homesick. But that's a surprising one, bro. Especially he'd be like the dog of that pack at the Roosters. Who's to know, bro? But when there's smoke, there's a bit of fire.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Usually from the other way.
Come from nowhere.
Usually from, when you hear, clubs trying to move this guy on.
Yeah. But he only just got there, so that's the thing. Yeah.
You know what? The biggest, the worst kept secret is Brandon Smith. For damn sure Roosters trying to move him on because this is his last year and he ain't even going to be, he's got an ACL still recovering. So, I don't know if it's his last year or not, but I know the Roosters ain't going to give him a contract for next year, bro. So, move him on. Too many sniff noses last year, I think.
Exactly.
But he just didn't, the games that he played, I think it was a bit of an awkward. He's an awkward 9, bro. I don't think he's your stereotypical 9 dummy half service-wise. When he was playing at the best was when he was on the bench and Cameron Smith was the starting.
So I think that's the thing. He's a 14, but he wants to be a 9, and I think that's the hard thing.
That's it, bro. Even for the Kiwis, I always feel like if you're picking the Kiwis, you'd think I would put Benji's little brother ahead of him. Yeah. Jeremy Marshall. So bro, it's a bit of a pity, but he's definitely will get a contract somewhere. And people are saying, possibly Super League, but I think he's still good enough for a team to pick him up as one of those running dummy halves coming off the bench. But interesting about Spencer, bro. I'll be surprised with that. But maybe he sees a bit of a maybe with the loss of Fisher Harris, also, he's seeing maybe this opportunity to go back
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of that. All right, mate. This is the part you've been waiting for at least. Let's get into those Vegas game reviews. Let's kick off with the Warriors. The Warriors.
Galo Fi. And you know,
Yeah,
the biggest Galo Fi is the fans, bro, because there's so many fans went over
that
there.
trip over there too. Like,
Yeah, and that's probably you know, we got our two big awards, but they deserve the build ups award because even I was building. They looked good preseason. They had two quality hitouts in terms of giving their starting pack but starting team a lot of time in the preseason. But
yeah,
I just think that the Raiders, and we overlooked them, bro, and everyone does. They come out firing, bro.
yeah,
They were awesome, and their pack. That was such an awesome pack to see. Papali'i starting, and that was a bit of a change, last minute change.
yeah.
Starting with Hosborough, who good to see the big red back.
Big Red,
He
man.
caused some
He
he caused
was.
some problems, man. When he goes wider off the ruck, and he was offloading like Ali Lawatiri styles.
Yeah, it's almost like the Raiders get up for the Warriors because it's like just like you're saying, their intentions were clear right from the outset. They wanted to come like that's the thing. Like you look at the intensity. They
mm,
knew like when we tackle, we want them to know we're tackling. The Warriors
yeah,
are going in like just finish that tackle, let's get back. The Raiders were like tackles done and still two more just coming, not late, but just making sure like finish them off. Like if we've got four there, finish them off. The Warriors are like four guys on a player. Like okay, there's four there, but still gets an offload. Like guys, but man,
yeah.
yeah, it was just the
I thought
intentions.
it
Like
was
yeah, those first three sets, Warriors are
the,
just like
the opening
oh
quarter was such a fast arm
yeah.
wrestle. And it was going toe to toe. It
Mm.
was when the Raiders started opening up a bit, and they weren't scared to fucking offload, bro. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple of errors there in the
Yeah,
opening.
they got away with a few, but I'm not going to cry about those because when you're just
Yeah,
on and just
but
giving it, the ref can't really make a call on
but
those either. So
Tapane, Horsbra, Papali'i,
yeah,
they're gonna be problems, man. They're gonna be problems.
Hudson Young was fucking all
The
over
second
the show.
row, and I want to mention, I just think they were a bit more they're a bit more willing to play a bit more football than the
Yeah,
Warriors. Not to say, I thought the Warriors did really well to hold on, especially in that first half.
mm.
And the biggest fucking dagger to the half with me was when Xavier Zavic scored his first try, and it come off Starling, and Starling. We talk about the line speed
Yeah,
defense. How good was Starling, bro? He was probably close to the
yeah,
best player on the paddock, bro. Just his defense, but
yeah,
then that moment when he cut through. Remember,
yeah.
I
When he
sent
went
the
straight
video.
through, like yeah,
There's,
Egan was off.
there's a
Bloody
really
Ford
good
was
breakdown
still
of that play.
retreating.
Yeah,
Nicoda didn't know to come across. It was just
yes,
like just watch it. It was like slow motion, even watching it on TV. I'm like, guys, like fucking get a
That-
penalty. It's like closer to our half than theirs. Just take the penalty. And it's like, oh, I don't want to get penalized. Like,
yeah.
man,
That was a pivotal moment because
yeah,
I thought
maybe would have got a
the two or
yellow, but
three
do it.
the two
You
or three
gotta
sets
defend.
before that break. So Starling makes that break.
Mm.
Xavier Savage scores on the right hand side. The two or three sets before that break, man, there was the momentum shift, bro. I thought the Warriors were doing really good
Yeah,
just to
coming
hold
up.
on, bro. It was only 6-0.
Yeah.
But defensively, bro, they were fucking coming through, coming back. And
Oh
and
yeah,
all it
that's
took
the
was just
thing.
that one error, bro.
Yeah.
And then they scored. And I think that was the story of the game. It's like they were there or thereabouts in good moments, but that try, the try of Nickel Clockstar's era, I think it was Sebastian Chris. Even Sebastian Chris' first try,
That
that
was
was a soft one
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Hey, how he
So
reached
that
out.
was hard, that reach out one, because I get it for Klookstad. So he did a mountain of work because he was over on the left side making that tackle and then had to cross back. And so he kind of over chased and had to step back to try and
Yeah.
save it. But
But I just
I
thought,
mean, that's the thing. I think he didn't have a bad game, but just the amount of work that those guys, the back three, Roger looked like he had a hiding. I felt
mm,
so sorry for the Uso, man. That is not how you use Roger, man. He's a Ferrari, not a bloody
yeah,
Hummer at the
well,
back
Solly,
there.
he ran for over a couple of 100 meters, bro.
Yeah. Well,
But that
as
was
usual,
all. It
but
was
usually
all
he gets a couple hundred with finesse. You don't batter ram Roger like he can't do a 200 meters like that every week, running it
yeah.
like that.
He'll
That's
do
not
that
how
all
you
day, right?
give.
Bring
Yeah,
them out of bring them out of trouble. I
Yeah, but
just
that's
thought
not like
that
that, man.
because they had a lot of ball in the red zone, and there was a stat like just after half time that the Warriors actually had a bit more time in that red zone in the
Mm.
opposition 20
Oh,
meters.
yeah, attacks on, yeah.
But I just thought, and we talked about this last week, they were just a bit on attack, a bit laboured and a bit predictable, going left to right,
Yeah.
block play,
So
block play.
I think that's the thing. Everyone's kind of talked about our halves and maybe Tamaida should be there, but no one's kind of acknowledged the fact, like you mentioned, what Isaiah Yo does for that Panthers pack. Toyo has been carrying us all these years.
Yeah,
And that's the big out. Like people kind of think to Johnson and go like, you think Tohu and Funua Blake were just those guys with their hands just made it so much easier for our halves to have that extra time and space. That's what Yo does for the Panthers. And now you look at what we've got in our forward pack. There's like 5 guys all built the same. Like that trial preseason, we had Aaron Clark. So at least Aaron Clark comes with that ball playing skill as well as Dylan
but
Walker.
he didn't start, bro.
Nah,
So
so
he
I
was
think
named
he
to
was named
start.
at 13. So I think, yeah, like you
Ford
were
come on,
mentioning, some of that.
but that's a
Yeah,
good point because Ford come on, and that's a
and
big,
it's just the
big
same.
pack.
Yeah,
But they're
one
robots,
dimensional.
bro.
They're all big robots. Yeah,
It wasn't until wait
Dylan
for you.
Walker came in.
Yeah, when he come on at number 13, and then you
Just
saw a
try something. Yeah,
bit more ball
now we're
movement.
going a bit more. Yeah, going
I
forward
just
and
thought that the
sideways.
Raiders were more willing and prepared to play football than the Warriors was.
Yeah.
Warriors were willing to get in the arm wrestle, which they did, but a
Well,
couple
yeah,
of
that's
2
the
or 3
thing. They
soft
kind of, yeah,
tries.
and I think that's the thing. They came in with we're gonna play 80 minutes when and I think that's what killed them because the Raiders just came like, let's just go hard. And I think the Warriors are trying to pace themselves in that opening quarter, like you said,
Yeah,
they were like, oh shit, and just the energy you expend by then. Now you're like, well, yeah, you're doing arm wrestling to these guys who are sprinting circles around you.
yeah. By the time the second half come around, like late in the second half, I think the
Yeah,
Warriors
we got
boys
it
had.
back like that's the 80-minute game, but by then it's like, well, good
Yeah, but
luck scoring 4
they'd already
tries.
expended a lot of energy, bro,
Yeah,
and that's
just the
why I thought
defense.
that Webster kind of fucked up his
Yeah,
rotation as
the
well,
roster
man.
was a bit off. Yeah.
And I get having those big boys at the start, but I thought they he kept on a couple of them one too long, especially Ford and Neil Kore, who was responsible for that getting that
late.
hole to Sterling. But yeah, bro, I don't think it's all panic stations, but I do think that one of the big difference was the halves in the Canberra Raiders. The ball that they did have, they looked more likely compared to
Well, that's the thing.
the
They did
Warriors.
so well that Fogarty didn't even he didn't have his best game.
Yeah,
You know,
but
even
I thought
Ethan
his
Strange
kicking was
did.
better.
Yeah, like
Every
he's always
time
had an awesome
Nickel
kicking
Cockstar
game.
caught the ball, there
Yeah,
was a Raiders green
yeah,
jersey right on his
never
face.
had a chance to step. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
even
but
from
at the
wherever
same
they
time,
kicked, had
just
enough
ball
time.
movement wise, the halves got showed up from the Warriors. I don't know if there's any natural ball players. I wouldn't say Harris Tavita's a natural ball player. I have to call him a ball runner.
Yeah,
I think out of the whole squad, Tim Martin is a natural 7. And
yeah.
he showed last year, bro, that they won a lot of games without Johnson there. That's why I was so surprised. But then again, bro, you don't want to you want to give these two a chance. Hey, give them another game. But you know how much you being a big supporter,
how many weeks?
would you give them a chance, or would you say, hey, you know what?
Well,
Let's
no,
not
I
waste any
think
more
that's the thing.
time.
Yeah,
Let's bring Timota in, and we're gonna do it this way because there's murmurs for possibly Harris Tavita suits being a 14 coming on, but then you've got Clark there, Aaron Clark, who does that role really well as well.
and I think that's the thing. Like, I think you make
You're gonna stick
changes
to them,
now.
bro. You're
Like,
gonna stick to those halves.
I think so. You stick to the whole team. Like, I think you don't do panic stations. That's the thing. That's pretty much it. Maybe like just the rotation, like you said. So it looks like Aaron Clark was planned to start. So hopefully, if they bring him in to actually start the next game, because it just brings another dimension. Like, yeah, at the moment, Mitch Barnett smashes it up, Jackson Ford smashes it up, Fisher Harris smashes it up. Like, none of these guys have some ball playing in them. And then you're saying, like, if our halves, like, they've got to grow into that and learn. They can't just be runners as well. Like, Metcalf hasn't really got a kick game as well. So now you've got two running halves and without a ball player. So I think you really need to kind of bring Aaron Clark and Dylan Walker into that rotation a bit better.
Or at
Otherwise, you
least
just
start.
got the same, yeah. Otherwise, you just got these guys that's just running straight. And I think that was the other thing for Canberra. After they figured it out, like, oh, none of these guys actually step or pass. They just come straight down the middle. So let's just smash them. And that's what it became, like, this movement of battering ram. And then the halves trying to do something magic off the back of that. But it's like, yeah, we're going forward, but everyone knows that your forwards are coming straight at them. So, yeah, I think a slight adjustments, maybe a little bit of a roster change, but first game of the season, not the result we wanted.
What if it's 0-2? You got Manly next.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I
You
think,
make a call
there's
then
going
or
to
what?
be a hard start to the season as always. But look, I think panic stations if we get down to 3-0. We've been 5-0, 6-0 and come back. So 3-0, it's all right. It's all right. But looking for a bounce back. That Manly game should be a good test. So I think that's the thing. People kind of write this off like, man, that's Kaya. It's only Canberra. But yeah, like you mentioned at the beginning of this, man, Canberra,
Canberra going to be a problem, man.
we're on, man. People are like talking there. I think, yeah, everyone, Ricky's happy. Like people, I think a lot of people slept on Canberra. I didn't have them as I don't know who had them as their spoon. People
Neither.
were saying that was their spoon. I'm like, wow, I don't know who you are. How'd you get them in your
Nah.
spoon?
They'll be in the hunt for the 8, man.
Man,
After that performance, I'm more inclined to put them in
yeah,
the 8 and
yeah,
take
like we're
fucking
saying,
Tigers out.
this 8 ebbs and flows. So we'll see. But yeah, nice rap. Was any other comments out of that game, man? Um, any
Nah, bro.
warning signs?
Uh,
Things that you're concerned for the Warriors, mate? You just
nah. I don't have any concerns because I don't give a fuck. But it's good to see Big Papa, man. I love this guy, man. And he looks fitty. Like
yeah,
his
he's looking
Mahala's
good.
not as
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
bro. Maybe it's those. Sorry, how good is those jerseys? I like their jerseys from the for not the Warriors, the Raiders.
Raiders.
Different. I don't know what it is, but I think the design is different. But
Yeah, I don't
man.
know if it's a new one.
Papa, who's probably on the last chapter of his career, but solid, man. If he can, if Ricky can use him wisely, man, he's gonna put the hits in, be a problem, man.
I thought they were going to do a call. Like you think last year when we were missing Tino and Big Flegler, I thought they were going to do a SOS. I'm surprised they didn't call him out, like just to come and.
Wow.
I reckon he would have made a difference, man.
If he keeps playing this way, I'll have him in there, bro. Have him in there. Horsburgh put his hand up. If he can play fucking, Queensland forward pack, this can come back this year. But anyway, that's for another episode.
Mate, final thing on the Raiders, shout out to Tyler Manoa from the Las Vegas Raiders. You see when he did his he blew when they couldn't get Dana White and they called him to come and do his blow the horn. So like when I was watching I was thinking, so that's off, and they were like all over the show. So like I was like, yeah, their thing's they're not gonna be hyped. That's off. Shame. And then when they came out like that, I was like,
hear. I couldn't quite hear it properly.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was off, but maybe it was hype because man, the Raiders came out like they heard that thunder clap because they gave us a thunder slap. All right, the second game, the fourth game of that day. We'll go straight to the Panthers Sharks game because man, what a game! We both tipped the Sharks. I think a lot of people, just with the Sharks form coming off the preseason challenge, they've kind of got their signings as well. With everything that the Panthers lost, I think a lot of people actually took the Sharks just for an early upset while the season was starting. But a little bit of rust from these teams. But man, the performance they put at the end, Sharks, that is a game for a round one season. Possession ended up being 50-50, and that's pretty much what it looked like when you look at the score and that game throughout it. Both had 78% completion rate, so that's crazy. These two, the score pretty much on par with everything here.
Tole, I'm like you. I picked the Sharks. No disrespect to the Panthers, but just because they're given their starters a little bit of a run preseason, and I just thought that the excitement of Fanua Blake coming in there and pretty much full strength. Which performance-wise, bro, they were on fire too, bro.
Yeah.
But the Panthers, bro, like, on that performance, Sharks would probably beat 90-95% of the comp, bro.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But just to see the Panthers, we didn't see any of these starters preseason, bro, and they just came out. All their big guns come out like they never missed a beat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. Cleary was Cleary, man. But
everyone it's just a well-oiled machine. Like
who am I thinking?
Miss nothing.
Mitch Kenny's always like tough defensively, bro. They lost nothing, especially with the loss of Fisher Harris, bro. They were.
That's the thing. Lindsay Smith, totally different build and stuff, but just went out there doing exactly what Harris does. Just getting in there, solid.
And saying that, like, Sharks scored 4 points on them, bro. 4 tries on them. So, like, Sharks. The Sharks fans shouldn't be too disappointed in this game. The Panthers they started slowly. I thought Dylan Edwards had a bit of a shocker there in the opening 5-10 minutes, bro. He had a few cutout balls were hit the ground. But yeah, man, this is a bit of a worry for the competition, man. The Panthers missing To'o. Just to come out and what they did, man, that's scary, bro. Against a team like the Sharks. I thought maybe one area where I thought the Sharks would have an edge, especially with missing To'o, was the back 3, back 4. I thought Muritalo was sort of some people got under his skin, because he wasn't. He was a bit of Ika guy, a few moments there, Muritalo, bro. And I think he's missing his Tongan mate there. Those two can do a bit of damage coming out.
Katoa, is he injured?
Yeah, it must be. And with Ramian and Ira, I thought that's where they had the edge. Yeah. But the Panthers, bro, defensively on tackle 1 and 2, they can just strangle you after chasing a Cleary kick. And that's what they did, bro.
Oh, just at the end there too, Cleary he just wanted the ball. You just see him like get into everything. Just like, let me sort this out. Like when it got so close.
Going forward, man, like guys like Yale, Liam Martin, who was solid. This guy's beast.
Yeah, if we should have been part of my all eyes
guy. That's Ulukai. This guy fucking hits hard, eh?
Yeah.
So
everything. Martin, that's the thing. When he just like switches on, I was like, bro, this guy just wants to.
Mitch Kenny and Cleary, man, those 4 and Edwards at the back. Those 4 just keep the fucking system
Edwards
going.
Had a few, he was a bit rusty too, and yet they still pulled that off. So you think all of these guys, they're calling themselves rusty. I mean, Cleary coming off-season surgery and getting into everything. I think he just wanted to if it breaks now, at least I know.
Yeah.
So this guy's given it the full test. So I was like, wow, this guy just jumped straight in there.
Out of both teams, I think there's more improvement in the Sharks. I mean, Panthers can get better, but in terms of their performance, I think there's a bit more there from the Sharks to improve on, bro. So yeah, it was good to have a game like out of all 4 games. That was the most competitive, bro. And it was tight up until that last quarter, man. But yeah, bro, that was entertaining game. Also, Fanua Blake was awesome.
Yeah,
that's a big loss for the Warriors, especially on offense. And he's probably the best forward,
especially
in the 5 minutes before the try line.
Yeah.
He's one of the short odds to score a try, man. He got over this game.
Well, and that's the thing. He is a huge loss as much as Fisher Harris. He brings a presence. He doesn't. On offense, he doesn't have that same skill set. Like that's the thing. For Blake is even Payne Haas, for all his talents, he hasn't got that ball play like this guy. Payne Haas can run over anything. He's got speed as well.
Arguably the best prop in the game, and for Blake, bro. And bro. It's both teams will be up there. I picked them for my top 4, and based on their performance, they ain't going to change.
Yeah,
but it's scary that the Panthers just start the season like this, man. Like fucking top.
And I think that's the thing for a team like the Sharks. Like I look at this and go, as much as I love my Warriors, I feel like we've got leagues. Like you think these teams, like a loss for the Sharks is like cool, few tweaks. And, that's the thing, like against that Panthers side like that, and I feel like the Warriors are leagues away from being anywhere close. And yet I look at the Sharks and go, man, these guys have been close, and I still don't know if they've got the right recipe to go all the way. And so to think that of this team, the Sharks, and the way they did that, and know that my Warriors are leagues away from it, that's like, man, we have a lot of work to do. But I mean, it's a long season. We are in round one. And I guess that's what I love about the NRL, that, you can go half a season and still have hope that your team can flip it around. So,
Kai,
ele
mate.
kai, exactly, mate, exactly. Talking about ele kai, any other points for that game, mate?
Nah, bro. Nah. It was a mean game. It was expected of these top teams, bro. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring
Nice.
it on the preview, Zeus.
Let's before we jump to the previews, mate, let's go and have a look at how you guys did in the fantasy round. The boys again are running the Isaiah Kalava Memorial Cup. Our reigning champ Mike is back again, so we're just going to check out the draft and see how everyone's going in there. A few good head-to-heads, rolling lockout, so people shouldn't get too excited. None of these games are yet to get updated as other players play through the rest of this round. So first up, these nuts up against Clutch City Official. What have we got
We're still
here?
halfway through the round,
Yeah, we've still got plenty of games to go. So 291 for these nuts up against Clutch
Just
City.
wanted to drop your team, mate.
Sitting on 51, but these nuts has already played 5 players, and Clutch City has only had 1 player go through, so still lots of
That
footy.
could have been a mistake making
That
Hines
one.
your captain, bro. And only 41 points. Double that for 82. Sorry.
Side. I got a lot of players still in the background
And
there. A lot of
pick
kickers.
Egan. Well, Hudson Young, Sole, 65.
Mate,
Oh,
Hudson.
that's a crucial error.
This is our year. This year or the next is sitting on 215 after playing 4 players via Air Bronx. Sitting on 115 with only 3 players gone. And this year or the next has already played as captain as well. So that should be a good matchup. Should end out fairly close, that one. Going over to our next game. Cameron Sewell or Madden up against NZ Steppers. NZ Steppers played 4 players, got 212. And with his Nathan Cleary captain, and all Madden Cameron Sewell 387. Leading at the moment with his captain Isaiah Yeo scoring 140 points. Nice work there, mate. Heading over now to God Squad, our reigning champ. Played 4 players. He's sitting on 159 up against Nacho, who's played 3 players and sitting on 119. So we should have some good updates on those games coming next week. Rounding us out, Ultimate Manly. How did this guy get in our comp before we kicked him out? Sitting on 207 points, 4 players played. Of course, Ultimate Manly hasn't got a captain in play.
Oh, come on, Rog.
Amateur. Up against Samoan Mandingo, reigning champ from 2 years ago. Come back in with his captain Payne Haas. He's sitting on 126 points yet to play. Nice, we'll wrap you up and give all the updates of those coming up next week's potty. Let's jump over to our predictions for this week. Starting off with you and your boys next week, mate. Thursday night Bronx.
Tomorrow.
Heading over to Sydney. You guys probably get on the plane shortly, mate. It's, get out of the weather.
Bro, 13 plus also to the sophomores.
Yeah.
I'm picking. Couple of, I don't want to say surprise. Big out is, Katoni. He's injured, man. He's going to be injured for a few weeks, according to reports.
Training injury or?
Yeah. I read it, bro. Maybe Hemi. I'm not too sure. I forgot. But
Shibataki's
come in.
Fali.
And I got a note. Jack Kazuski is starting ahead of Brendan Piakura.
Oh,
So that's a bit of a surprise. I think he's being rewarded for a pretty good preseason. Jack
yeah,
Kazuski.
Piakura's on the bench. That's right.
I guess the Roosters. The reason why I'm picking the Bronx, Roosters got a few big names out, bro. And I just think we've got the and Hunt and Reynolds got the edge in the halves there, bro. So I'm picking 13 plus to the Bronx.
How you like this new change with Paddy at the front,
I
helping
love
with
it.
Payne Haas? You
I
like
love it,
that?
bro. Um,
Kobe got a bit of ball playing in him? Or you reckon he's just a
yeah,
straight
yeah,
runner?
yeah, hard
Oh, he's
out,
got
hard out.
nice.
He hadn't been used because he'd been coming off the bench over the last couple
He's
of
doing a
years.
lot of work in the forwards. He is in the middles as
I
well
don't
last year.
know. I don't know why Kivy didn't really like him, but 2 or 3 years ago, before Kivy came coaching, he had that in him, bro. That he's good straighten up, can ball play.
Oh, okay.
But he's another one that's probably had a good preseason, bro. And but Carrigan and Haas, your best two
Yeah.
forwards, and I don't think it's a big difference in the way Carrigan. He's still in the middle, and he's played prop before when he first comes into the team. I like it, bro, especially with these young guys on the bench: Willison, Jensen, Piakura. Yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to see how this goes, man. But I just think it's good opportunity for Kobe Hetherington to add to the team, bro. What he can bring in terms of a little bit of ball playing there, and defensively he's awesome.
Nice, bro. Yeah, I'm actually going the Bronx with this one as well. Yeah, like when you say there's a lot of outs, I'm looking at this Roosters roster. There's still a lot of class in there. I don't know, like just from what I saw in that preseason trial, like they pretty much had one of their full packs, and they got wiped off the park. They look like an all sorts. So I think it's going to be a bit closer. I think the guys, like after that last run out, hopefully they get things in order. Chad Townsend had a terrible outing last game he played. So looking for him to make a bounce back. But yeah, I think in your halves, yeah, going to be exciting to see Ben Hunt and Reynolds throughout the season. I mean, that's going to be an amazing combination to see these two. As long as they stay fit and healthy, that should be some real entertaining footy from these two. But I'll go the Bronx 12 and under. I mean, Knights and the Tigers. Should be a good game.
Yeah, bro.
Tigers look good in their last preseason hideout.
I'm gonna go with the Tigers on this one, bro. I just think the first game, first game of the year for a new look Tigers team. Still missing Uppy.
Yeah, no Dream Buller
but
as well.
yeah, and Buller. So there's a couple of big outs, but I think the Luai and May and Royce Hunt, good additions, and Jack Bird. We've got to mention Jack Bird there as well. I think it's a new look Tigers team at Campbelltown, so I'm picking them, bro.
Nice. I'm
Close
gonna
one.
go the Knights in a close one here. I think after seeing Kalyn like on the off season as well, looks like the Knights have worked real hard in the off season. So yeah, I reckon they're looking forward to a good season, bringing some stuff together. Still, I don't know, Fletcher Sharp. He's probably one of the faster halves at least. So
Yeah, it's a bit of a merry-go-round with the halves again there, eh?
yeah. So that's
Sharp and
the only
Cogger, but
thing. There's probably some
we'll see how that
concerns there.
goes.
Yeah, hopefully they can kind of, yeah, are they going to do another five? So they're almost like, yeah, that gunning for Dylan Walker solves a lot of problems for them as well. I think they're almost similar to the, nah, okay, in my comment there. But
Dylan
yeah,
Walker, eh?
yeah, well, yeah, I'm going just pipping the Knights over the Tigers for that one. But it should be a good game. Get to see Luai with his first hit out for the Tigers. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to that one. Heading over to our Friday game, originally meant to be played over there in the Gold Coast. Was it played over there or played in Brisbane?
Yeah. No, I was originally up in Brisbane.
Yeah. So they've moved this one over to Combank Stadium. So good work on the NRL, man. That's amazing how these guys can just click their fingers and make things happen. Because it's not easy to just go, actually, next week, or not even next week, this weekend, we want to play over here instead of there, and we're just going to switch our games. So amazing that they were able to get that over the line. The Dolphins are travelling now, and probably a good thing for the Rabbitohs. They get kind of a home game in Sydney. Your thoughts on this one, bro?
Yeah, bro. That probably swings it in the Rabbitohs' favour for me. It's not their home ground, Combat Stadium, out Parramatta Wings, but still it's in Sydney. The team don't have to travel as much. And by all accounts, there's a few, we mentioned it earlier, there's a few missing for the Dolphins, bro. So I don't have, I'm just going off on the official team list. It's still pretty close, but I'm going to give it to the Rabbitohs in a close one also.
Right. I'm actually going Dolphins on this one. Like, just looking at the team list I'm looking at looks solid. Get to see Daniel Saifidi in Dolphins gear, so that should be a nice surprise there at the front. So be looking forward to seeing him run out there. Just not sold on the halves. Jamie Humphries, haven't seen much of him. And Cody Walker didn't really have too much of a good showing in those preseason challenges. So like we mentioned, Latrell out for 8 weeks. Cameron Murray also out now, so he's out for a little bit for the Rabbits as well. Looks like Campbell Graham, so he'll be back as well. So welcome back to him. Been a long time without footy for him, poor dude, almost over a year. So yeah, I think he's going to be going. Looking forward to coming back. That should be a good matchup with him and Herbie as well. So real good centre pair off there, and I'll go Dolphins on that one. While we mentioned the Dolphins, with the change of location, like you mentioned, like I'm looking at this team list, but just reading here that looks like some of these names might be pulled. It looks like Nikarima isn't coming now, because the Wags went to happy with the boys off going playing league while they're left to face the Cyclone Alfred by themselves. So Bree Nikarima, Cody Nikarima's wife, came out online, said...
But who else is out? Do you have that?
Yeah, so it's got here that there are 4 players that are not going to travel, and they are... we got here from the Dolphins. We are... Oh, no, they've named Nikarima. I don't know if the other 3
You still sticking with the Dolphins?
I am. Nikarima's not in that list, and O'Sullivan's a great alternative. And Isaiah Katoa is solid, so yeah, I'm happy to stick with the Dolphins on that call there. Moving along to Saturday's games, the Doggies and the impressive preseason Dragons should never go off preseason form. But what are your thoughts on these two?
Surely this could be game of the round. I'm picking this one, close, tight one, bro. Yeah, where's that? Jubilee Stadium. That's Dragons' home ground, I think.
Jubilee.
Hard one to pick, bro. But with Gutherson there at fullback, so I'm gonna say Dragons in a close one.
Oh, nice.
That's a bit of an upset, really, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, off last year and what the Doggies did last year. But I'm going the same way. Just what I've seen in the preseason, Valentine Holmes is looking class out the back there for the Dragons as well. But yeah, you're probably right, man. This game is going to be up there. So that should be some awesome Saturday watching. And then backing that up is the Sea Eagles and the Cowboys. How you see that one?
Yeah, hard one to assess. Fresh game of the year. But it is at Manly. That Manly team looks quite. That's their best team, really, eh? On paper. I'm gonna go for Manly on this one. It's Tombololo's interesting out.
Yeah.
I think he hadn't had a big
that's right.
preseason, so maybe he's just easing him into it. But the Neff missed out on the squad.
To see your Neff on the extended bench. You never know, mate. Things happen on the day.
Based on that, they lose a bit of power there off the bench, so I'm going to go with Manly.
Nice. Just roster-wise, I think I'm going to go Manly. Shout out to Jazz Tevanga's found himself a new home and found himself a starting hooker position even. So that's interesting. I'm trying to think who Manly's 9 usually is. So that's a huge in for Jazz Tevanga, so good on him. But yeah, I think this Manly side is going to travel well, especially with Turbo back in there. So I'm going to go Manly with this one as well, and I'm actually going to keep it close. All right, and rounding out our round, who's got the bye this week? I think the Titans got the bye this week. Yes, a nice game to finish the week. On Sunday afternoon, we have the Storm and the Eels. Storm probably going to finally put out their top 4. Perhaps Munster, Hughes, Harry Grant. So that is pretty much a full fit Melbourne Storm team, except for Asafa. Yeah. Other than Asafa, they have pretty much their full squad. Starting for the Storm, Mitchell Moses likely to be out for a few weeks for
Yeah,
the Eels.
Volkman.
Yeah, good on
Volkman,
Ronald
eh?
Volkman. Nice to see him back in the game, that he's not lost
To
to the
kind
game.
of resurrect his career again, bro. Good to see fellow Kiwi man playing his trade, bro. Still going strong.
Nice for the kid to get another chance over at the Eels. How you seen this one, man?
Yeah, man. I joked around with Pete, our good Uso Pete, who's probably the number one Eels fans that they were my Spungi La'au team, but I've read a lot of reports, bro, that training preseason's been awesome, man. The team's
Bolo's been
got
taking a lot of steroids. It's looking great.
yeah, and yeah, but you look at this Melbourne team, man, especially at home. Yeah, I have to pick them. But I think Eels can put up a fight. The big out for me is obviously Mitchell Moses. So yeah, they'll put up a big fight, but I just think the class, a big difference in class there. So 13 plus. Hopefully, it's not too ugly for the Eels.
Nice. Yeah, I am going to with the caliber of players that the Melbourne Storm get back this week. Stefano Tuikamanu, his first game with the Storm. So he's going to want a good outing. Sean Bloor looked real good in the preseason, so looking at a good season from him as well. But yeah, you're right. The Eels, Mose is a big out for them. Looking forward to seeing Isaiah Youngie have a run there at fullback. He looked alright in the preseason challenge, so it'll be good to see him over the next few weeks, how he starts to adjust to NRL level with a lot of harder teams. I know the preseason challenge was against, a lot of new talent, younger talent. So wishing him the best, but I am picking the Storm in this one as well. Probably a close one actually, closer than
Ooh, really?
most would expect. Early in the season, so as much as the Storm's got all their players back, I think it's could be a few little errors in there, still sorting out the rust. First time seeing a lot of these guys together with their combinations, Jerome Hughes as well. So, yeah, I think it might be a traditional Storm. Haven't lost a first season game, and then I don't know, what are they up to now? 10 years? 11 years?
Oh, longer than that,
It's a ridiculous record.
Yeah.
And I believe it will continue on Sunday night. Nice, Us. Those are our picks. Let's finish off with a little multi, mate. You got any little bangers you want to chuck into a 3-leg multi there?
First game of the round, bro. I'm going to say 13 plus and Cobbo for a double.
Oh, nice. Bronx 13 plus, Cobbo with the double. Yeah. And I will... who have we got in this game? Yes, I will chuck in there. I will go a anytime scorer for Christian Tuipulotu. Actually, I'll go first try scorer for the Dragons game, Christian Tuipulotu. There you go, people.
Thank you, Us.
Gamble responsibly. Thanks, Us. How's your weekend looking, bro? in front of the couch catching up on all these? You guys got the kids footy yet?
bro. Oh, well, all things going well. And by Saturday, if it all clears up, bro, I'm going to Samoa.
That's right.
Miss me next week, bro, because next Wednesday is my mum's 80th. So big shout out to mum. Love you, mum. Love you, Neil. Make sure you bring her to Samoa and good health.
The Rolls Royce.
We'll catch up then.
Nice. Also, thanks for jumping on, bro. Stay safe next week in your travels. Thank you for tuning into the 135 Footy Show. Go check us out on all your socials or check us out WesWesNet.com. So, catch up.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Charles.